Most of us know how to point a black box at the things that give us pleasure. The new, the quaint, the odd.
Throughout history, countless photographs have remained hidden, but upon being uncovered, offer a fascinating glimpse into the past. Let us amaze you with 50 rare, unseen historical photos that will leave you speechless.
And the artist who can see and feel recognizes each one that's right for him.
Number 50. A British Indian soldier gives the V for Victory sign from a porthole of a ship upon his arrival in Singapore, 1941. This symbolic gesture of hope during wartime was an important morale booster for citizens and soldiers alike during these difficult times. It was seen as a sign of resilience and determination in the face of adversity. The V for Victory sign was an important symbol of the Allies' eventual victory at the end of World War II. Number 49. Picture of the 1933 Reichstag Fest, used as propaganda for German farmers under Nazi rule, manipulating public sentiment through staged events. This event was designed to create a positive image of the Nazi Party and show them as a supporter and protector of German farmers. It was also meant to encourage loyalty to the Nazi regime and divert attention from the regime's oppressive policies. Propaganda was first used in World War I by the British government in 1914. They invited 25 leading British authors to Wellington House to discuss best ways of promoting Britain's interests during the war. Number 48. Use of masks during the Spanish flu pandemic, 1918. Protective measures during a deadly global health crisis. Scientists believed masks were useful in preventing the spread of the virus as they acted as a physical barrier, blocking droplets from exiting the nose and mouth. The use of face masks during the Spanish flu pandemic was highly recommended by medical professionals. Masks were especially effective when combined with other preventative measures, such as social distancing and hand washing. Number 47. A man standing in the lumberyard of Seattle Cedar Lumber Manufacturing, 1939, capturing the essence of the timber industry in the pre-war era. In the photograph, the man appears to be surveying the logs, ready to select the best ones for the job. He stands amongst piles of logs, surrounded by the tools of his trade. Number 46. Mermaids on the set of the film Peter Pan, 1924, discovering the magic of early movie making and imaginative set designs. This set was built to transport viewers to a fantastical world made up of wooden ships, pirates, and mermaids. The character of Peter Pan, a boy who never grows up, was the perfect hero for this escapist story. This film set the stage for many more whimsical movie-making adventures to come. Number 45. Yosef Gerbils photobombs Adolf Hitler, circa 1933. A surprising glimpse of an infamous Nazi propaganda minister. Gerbils was a close associate of Hitler and used his skills of public speaking and manipulation to sway people to the Nazi cause. His use of propaganda was instrumental in helping the Nazi Party come to power in 1933. He would remain a key figure in the Nazi regime until his death in 1945. Number 44. Stalin carrying his daughter Svetlana at his country house in Moscow, 1937. A rare, intimate moment of the Soviet leader's family life. It shows a side of Stalin rarely seen by the public. He was a loving father, despite his terrible reputation. Stalin's family life was marked by poverty and violence. His parents were forced to move 9 times in 10 years due to poverty. Bessarion, Stalin's father, was also abusive towards his family. To escape the abuse, Kiki, Stalin's mother, took him and moved in with a family friend. Number 43. The Soviet bombing of Helsinki during the Soviet-Finnish War, 1939. Devastating aerial warfare during a critical conflict. The bombing lasted from November 1939 to March 1940 and resulted in over 300 civilian deaths and over 700 injuries. The bombing caused significant damage to many of Helsinki's buildings and infrastructure. It was a major factor in the eventual Soviet victory in the war. Number 42. Charlie Chaplin and Walt Disney at the racetrack, late 1930s. iconic personalities enjoying a moment of leisure. The two men were friends and collaborators, having worked together on a number of projects. They shared a love of humor and storytelling, and this moment captures their spirit of camaraderie. Number 41. Korean mother embraces her son, a prisoner of war who escaped his North Korean POW camp shortly after the Korean War Armistice, 1953. Heartwarming reunion after the horrors of war. She had thought he was dead after he was taken by the North Korean forces years earlier. When she saw him, she was overwhelmed with emotion and hugged him tightly, crying with joy. They had been reunited despite the horrors of war.
In Korea, their soldiers still make war.
Number 40. Anne Hodges, the only human being in recorded history to be hit by a meteorite, 1954. Extraordinary and unlikely encounter with celestial debris. Anne Hodges was napping on her living room couch when a softball-sized meteorite crashed through her roof and hit her on the thigh. She was rushed to the hospital and treated for a bruise, but the incident made headlines around the world. Her meteorite is now displayed in the Alabama Museum of Natural History. Number 39. Cooking pork over an open pit. Braswell Plantation, near Rocky Mount, North Carolina, September 1944. A glimpse into traditional cooking methods and rural life during World War II. This method of cooking is still used today, especially in the southern U.S. It requires special skills and knowledge of the fire and coals. It also has a unique flavor that can't be replicated with modern cooking methods. Number 38. Karl Marx, London, 1875. Colorized. A rare colored portrait of the influential philosopher and economist. Marx is one of the most influential figures in history, and his works have shaped modern economics and politics. His ideas have been influential in both capitalist and socialist countries, and his work is still studied and discussed to this day. In 1845, Marx was exiled from Prussia and moved to London with his wife and children. While in London, he continued writing and formulating his theories about social and economic activity. Number 37. Soviet rock fans attend a concert in Moscow on September 28, 1991, celebrating resistance against a recent coup, uniting through music during political upheaval. It was a powerful display of solidarity and defiance against those who had tried to take away their freedoms. Through music, the Soviet citizens were able to express their emotions and feelings of hope in a difficult time. Number 36. Photograph taken during Mahatma Gandhi's funeral rally in New Delhi, 1948, with onlookers climbing poles for a better view. Emotional farewell to India's beloved leader. Hundreds of thousands of people had gathered to pay their respects. The atmosphere was solemn, yet filled with a sense of admiration for Gandhi's life and legacy. His death was a deep loss for the nation, but his message of peace and justice will live on forever.
When the body of Mahatma Gandhi was placed on the roof of Bonda House, in full view of the thousands who had traveled all night to pay him their last tribute.
Number 35. Swedish Major Eric Bonda smokes a cigarette after being ambushed and shot twice in the Congo, 1961. Reflecting on the toll of conflict on individuals, Bonda was sent to the Congo as part of a United Nations peacekeeping mission. He was among the first international soldiers to be sent to a conflict zone. The United Nations was established after World War II in an attempt to maintain international peace and security, and to achieve cooperation among nations on economic, social, and humanitarian problems. Number 34. Prince Adalbert of Prussia with his son, 1941. A glimpse of royalty amidst the turmoil of World War II. Despite the war, Adalbert was determined to continue the legacy of Prussian royalty. He stood by his son even during the most difficult times, a symbol of strength and resilience. Number 33. Two French men restrain a woman while another cuts her hair after she's accused of collaborating with Germans during the occupation. 1945. The aftermath of wartime justice. The woman had her hair cut as a way of punishment, a humiliation that was commonly practiced during the occupation. This was done to send a message to other women, warning them against collaborating with the Germans. The practice was deemed to be a necessary measure to restore order in the country. Number 32. League of German Girls Inspection during World War II, 1930s through 1940s. The influence of Nazi ideology on youth organizations. The League of German Girls was the female wing of the Hitler Youth and was part of the Nazi effort to indoctrinate young people with their extreme views. The organization was responsible for organizing activities such as marches, rallies, and military drills for young women. This inspection was to ensure that the members were fully embracing Nazi ideology. Number 31. Bob Ross, a former Master Sergeant in the Air Force who later hosted The Joy of Painting on PBS. From soldier to beloved painter, a remarkable journey. Bob Ross was known for his calming voice and encouraging words as he painted beautiful landscapes, often in less than 30 minutes. His show gained a cult following, and his paintings, books, and videos continue to inspire artists around the world. His legacy lives on.
Another 2-inch brush, I have several, and tap it.
Number 30. Suzanne Summers, 1979. Iconic actress and TV personality in the late 70s. She was best known for her role as Chrissy Snow on the sitcom Three's Company. She also starred in movies such as Step by Step and The Omega Syndrome. Her career in show business earned her 2 Emmy nominations. She was also known for her catchphrase, "Just 2 more bites and I'm done." Number 29. 2 guards from Delhi Durbar with James Rickalton, an American photographer who visited India in 1903. A glimpse of Indian cultural heritage during colonial times. Rickalton documented the everyday life of the people of India. His photos captured the diversity of the country's cultural heritage, from its majestic monuments and palaces to its humble villages. His photographs provide a valuable insight into India's history during colonial times. Number 28. Chief Dust Maker from the Ponca tribe in northern Nebraska, 1898. Celebrating Native American heritage and culture. He is credited with inventing the Ponca tribe's traditional dust dance. The dances, which use dust to create a visual effect, are still practiced today. The dust dance is an important part of the tribe's culture, which is celebrated each year. Just goes to show you can take the man out of the dust, but you can't take the dust out of the man. Number 27. 100-year-old picture showcases the amazing traditional Rwandan hairstyle, preserving cultural identity through unique hairstyles. This particular hairstyle has been around for centuries, but has been gradually forgotten over time. Highlighting this hairstyle serves as a reminder to preserve the rich cultural heritage of Rwanda. It also encourages pride in one's cultural identity. Number 26. Gary Anderson, the guy who designed the recycling logo at age 23 for a contest in 1971. The birth of a globally recognized recycling symbol. The logo became the international symbol of recycling, appearing on all kinds of products and packaging. It was also adopted by cities around the world and became a symbol of environmentalism and sustainable living. Today, it is still widely recognized and used. Number 25. One of the world's first gym machines, designed by Dr. Gustav Zander, Stockholm, 1892, pioneering the concept of fitness equipment. Zander's gym machine was revolutionary for its time and included a variety of machines for different exercises. The machine was designed to improve physical and mental health and was widely adopted by gyms around the world. Number 24. Food rationing portions in Great Britain during World War II, witnessing the hardships faced during wartime rationing. This was a difficult time for many people who had to live on limited supplies of food, without access to many of the items we now take for granted. Despite this, the British people showed remarkable resilience and spirit in the face of adversity. They worked together to make the most of what they had and made it through the war.
In Britain, the first foods to be rationed were bacon, butter, and sugar, beginning in 1940.
Number 23. Carrie Fisher and her stunt double relax on the set of Return of the Jedi, 1980s. Behind-the-scenes moments in a beloved movie franchise. The film was released in 1983 and has become a classic among fans. Fisher's stunt double was an essential part of the production, helping to make the action scenes look realistic. The iconic image of Fisher and her stunt double captures the spirit of the era. Number 22. An ironworker waves to his co-worker on the 88th floor of the new Empire State Building, 1930. The daring construction of an architectural marvel. The construction of the Empire State Building was an ambitious project and a feat of engineering. It took just 1 year and 45 days to complete the 102-story structure, making it the tallest building in the world at the time. The building stands as a testament to the skill and courage of the ironworkers who built it. Number 21. Berlin at the end of World War II. Capturing the aftermath of a devastating war. The city was in ruins, with countless buildings destroyed and people struggling to rebuild their lives. The city was divided into 4 zones, each governed by one of the Allied powers. These cities' citizens faced difficult times ahead as they worked to restore their homes and lives. Number 20. Stephen Hawking and his wife Jane Wilde, 1965. A glimpse into the personal life of the renowned physicist. Jane had been his student at the University of Cambridge, and they married in 1965. They had 3 children together and remained married until Stephen's death in 2018. Number 19. First miniskirts came into fashion in Lithuania, 1965. A revolutionary moment in fashion history. The trend quickly spread across Europe and around the world, and soon miniskirts were a staple of women's fashion. The miniskirt was an expression of freedom and liberation for women in the 1960s, and it continues to be a symbol of female empowerment today. Number 18. Men's hairstyles from the 1970s. Exploring the unique and flamboyant hairstyles of the era. The men's hairstyles of the 1970s were characterized by long hair, often with feathered bangs. The shag was a popular men's hairstyle with layers of choppy, textured hair. Afros were also popular with flared and voluminous hair. Men also sported sideburns and mustaches, which were often paired with a long, straight hairstyle. Number 17. Finnish 11-year-old Nestori Lindstrom, who ran away during the Continuation War to help on the Northern Front against the Soviets. Courageous actions of a young boy during wartime. He joined a troop of teenage volunteers, the Kekkonen Boys. His actions were highly praised by the Finnish president, Juho Kusti Paasikivi, who bestowed him with the Cross of Freedom Medal. Number 16. Hoppers on Stilts in Faversham, England, 1920. Traditional entertainment and culture in the early 20th century. The hoppers were a group of dancers who performed on stilts. They would move in a circle with the performers on the inside and the audience on the outside. The performance was a popular form of entertainment in the town of Faversham and was a symbol of traditional culture in the early 20th century. Number 15. Princess Elizabeth and Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten's marriage photograph, 20th of November, 1947. A royal wedding that captured the world's attention. The wedding was a grand affair attended by the royal family, foreign dignitaries, and members of the public. It was broadcast live on the radio, and millions of people around the world tuned in to hear the ceremony. It was the start of a long and successful marriage that would last over 7 decades. Number 14. 1937 Cadillac V16 Series 90 Cabriolet by Hartmann. Luxury and elegance of classic cars. The V16 Cadillac was the first modern car to feature a fully independent suspension system. This car was considered a masterpiece of design, with its sleek lines and luxurious interior. It remains one of the most sought-after classic cars to this day. Number 13. Operation Baby Lift. In 1975, over 3,300 Vietnamese orphans were evacuated and transported by plane to the U.S., a humanitarian mission during the Vietnam War. The mission was organized by the U.S. government and was dubbed Operation Baby Lift. The mission was met with mixed reactions, as some saw it as a humanitarian effort, while others viewed it as a PR stunt to improve the U.S.'s image. The mission was ultimately successful, and the orphans were given a chance at a better life. Number 12. When Muhammad Ali saved a man from suicide in 1981. The compassionate side of a legendary boxer. Ali had spotted a man standing on the ledge of a building, and he quickly ran to the scene to intervene. He talked to the man for 45 minutes before the man agreed to come down. Ali's compassionate and caring nature saved a man's life that day. Number 11. Red Army Guard on duty. USSR, 1925. Soviet military presence during the interwar period. The Red Army was formed in 1918 after the Bolshevik Revolution and grew in strength and size in the years following. This photo captures a moment of Soviet military presence in the interwar period, a time of great political and social upheaval in Russia. Number 10. Father and son from the same German regiment read letters from their respective wife and mother at the front, 1915. Emotional moments amidst the hardships of war. The two shared a moment of respite, brought by the comfort of knowing that their loved ones were safe. Number 9. Charles Bronson and Jill Ireland, 1968. A glimpse into the personal lives of Hollywood stars. Bronson and Ireland were married for 22 years and had 2 children together. They were a rare example of a successful marriage in Hollywood. They were also one of the few Hollywood couples who managed to maintain a strong friendship even after their divorce in 1982. Number 8. Putin as a teenager in the 1960s. Early snapshots of a world leader. He was born in 1952 in St. Petersburg, Russia. He was an average student in school, but he was an excellent athlete and judo champion. He joined the KGB in 1975 and rose steadily in the ranks of the Soviet government. He became the president of the Russian Federation in 2000 and has held the office ever since. Number 7. Sir Winston Churchill holding a Thompson Model 1928 during an inspection of the Home Guard near Hartlepool in 1940. Leadership during the darkest days of World War II. Churchill was a symbol of courage and determination, inspiring the British people to keep fighting against all odds. His speeches, such as the famous "We shall never surrender," became a source of hope and strength for his people. Number 6. World's greatest invention until color. Motorola Remote Control TV, 1962. Revolutionary technology that changed the way we watch television. It allowed people to watch TV from the comfort of their own homes without having to get up to switch channels. It also made it easier to find and watch specific shows. It has become a staple in households across the world. Number 5. A 1930s vision of the future. Retro-futuristic imagination of what lay ahead. This vision of the future often included sleek and modern technology such as flying cars, rocket ships, and robotic servants. It was a romanticized view of what the world could become, and often ignored the realities of the time. Number 4. Hippie Dad and His Daughter in Amsterdam, 1968. Embracing counterculture and free-spiritedness. This photo encapsulates the spirit of the 1960s hippie movement, which rejected traditional values and embraced love, peace, nonviolence, and free expression. Number 3. Japan's Emperor Hirohito inspects the Type 90 large air sound detector, a rare glimpse of imperial military technology. The Type 90 was a large-scale air raid warning system developed in the 1930s. It was used by Japan during World War II as a way to detect incoming enemy aircraft. The device is now preserved in the Tokyo National Museum. Number 2. maintenance workers conducting repairs on the Graf Zeppelin over the ocean during a transatlantic voyage, early 1930s. High-altitude bravery in the age of airships. The Graf Zeppelin was one of the largest and most luxurious airships of its time. Its maintenance team was highly experienced in working at extreme heights and in dangerous conditions. Number 1. Picassos' self-portrait at different stages of his life. A visual journey through the life of an artistic genius. Cubism was a style of painting originated by Georges Braque and Pablo Picasso in the first 2 decades of the 20th century. It was characterized by the use of multiple viewpoints to represent a figure or object. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through history. If you enjoyed these rare historical photos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. See you soon.